people think free motion quilting is hard because of the stitching, but most people don't struggle because they can't quilt. They struggle because they never start. If you've been putting off free motion quilting, one of these 7 reasons is probably why. Stick around till the end because I've got something that will help. Hi, I'm Mary with Merry-Go-Round Quilts, and I'm here to help you quilt with confidence, and I'm going to give you 7 reasons why people don't start free motion quilting, and I'm going to provide you with some solutions, and at the end, I've got a little something for you that I think is really going to help you. Reason number 1, fear of ruining your quilt. So many of us spend so much time piecing those beautiful quilted works of art, and then when it comes to the end and you're ready to do the free motion quilting, you freeze because you're not confident in your skills and you don't want to ruin your quilt. I will tell you that if you are working on a project that is for a gift, like maybe for a wedding present, don't have that gift be your very first attempt at free motion quilting. You want to start on something small to practice and build that confidence so that you can move on to that bigger project. So if you have something small like a table runner, a table topper, maybe a little wall hanging. Those are perfect to get your feet wet with your free motion quilting and don't require a lot of thinking and expertise on your part. I know how you feel. Even though I've been quilting for a very long time, I still have some of those projects that I finish and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what design to put on it. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin it. And so that's how I got started, was working on small projects first. And don't forget your practice quilt sandwiches. Make yourself a practice 3-layer quilt sandwich with a batting backing and a fabric on top, and just practice on that. Practice drawing your designs first, and that will help you to solidify that quilting path in your brain. So when you go to the machine, it gets a lot easier. So practice first on paper, then move on to a practice quilt sandwich and start doing some smaller projects that will help you to gain that confidence to work on that beautiful pieced quilt that you made that you want to give away as a gift or keep for yourself. Reason number 2, you think you have to have that perfect setup before you can start free motion quilting. Maybe you're worried that you can't quilt on your domestic sewing machine, and you think that if you only had a long arm or a sit down mid-arm quilting machine, you'd be a lot better. And that is not true. If your stitches are uneven or wobbly, or you're not feeling as confident when doing this on your domestic sewing machine, that's going to transfer over to your bigger, more fancier machine. You need to learn the basics first, and learning that on your sewing machine is perfectly acceptable. I do free motion quilt smaller projects on my sewing machine, and all you need to do is lower your feed dogs or cover your feed dogs, however your machine is set up. But you absolutely can free motion quilt on your domestic machine. You do not need to have a fancy machine in order to get started with free motion quilting. You don't have to have any other fancy tools or expensive thread. You can work with what you have. You don't need to buy a bunch of stuff to get started with free motion quilting. The goal here with free motion quilting is progress, not a fancy sewing room. Reason number 3 is you get conflicted with all the different advice that you're seeing on online from your friends, classes that you take. You're getting all this conflicting information coming into your brain. And so as a result, you're on overload and you just don't start at all. You don't do any free motion quilting because you've heard so many different things and you're not sure which one is what you need to do, so you don't do anything. I want you to keep in mind that when you start free motion quilting and when you start learning, you don't need to worry about learning 100 different designs first. It's totally acceptable to just start with one design, get that one perfected, and then move on to something else. So if you're hearing, you have to wear gloves, or you have to start with stippling, or you don't have to. Just remember to start small. Just because you're hearing a lot of different people tell you, oh, do this way or do that way, you need to just kind of start on your own and experiment on your own, and then you make the decision on what works best for you, because there is no clear right and there is no clear wrong. You're the artist when it comes to free motion quilting, so whatever is comfortable for you and your setup is what's best for you. And this leads me into reason number 4. Believing that you need to have lots of designs in your toolbox before you can start free motion quilting. Yes, when you're beginning, you do want to start with some of the simpler beginner-friendly designs like loops or stippling or circles, some basic swirls, things like that. You don't need to be able to do feathers, for instance, right out of the gate. You can achieve really great texture on your quilts with just one simple design. I personally still use stippling for an all-over design on my quilts. I do loops as an all-over design on my quilt. So it doesn't matter that even though I do know a bunch of different designs that I can use, I don't feel that I need to put the whole kitchen sink in there. So when you're starting out, just doing a few simple designs will add great texture to your quilt top. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't just do one simple design or stippling or something on your quilt. It's totally acceptable. So learning a few designs and being able to stitch those really well is better than knowing 100 designs and stitching them poorly. Reason number 5 that you may be holding back from doing free motion quilting is thread tension. Perhaps you've tried free motion quilting in the past and your machine was not set up correctly and you were getting really bad tension issues on the back of your quilt with maybe some eyelashes and some railroad tracks in there and just some loops and really poor stitches. Not everything was as it should be. When we're free motion quilting, you want the top thread and the bottom thread to mesh and lock perfectly so that your stitching looks identical on the top and on the bottom of your quilt. When we start to have tension issues, we think that it's, our fault, that we just, we don't know what's wrong. We don't know what we're doing. And in actuality, it is the machine. And all you need to do is to adjust your tension up or down, depending on the issue that you're having. So, take a look at your sewing machine manual and look at how you adjust the tension on your machine. Then get yourself a practice sandwich and start stitching and seeing what it looks like. If you don't like what it looks like, if the bottom thread is really loose and it's giving you the eyelashes or the railroad tracks around the curves, then you need to tighten your tension and keep doing it in small increments, stitching in between on your test sample until you find the perfect locking stitch. So tension, I know that it's a headache and it's a pain in the patootie, but it's going to happen no matter if you're a beginner or if you are an advanced quilter. I don't think that you are ever 100% free of tension issues for the rest of your life with your machines. I still have tension problems with my machine, and it just takes me rethreading my machine, adjusting my tension, testing until I find that sweet spot where the stitches on the top and the bottom look identical. So don't think that you can't free motion quilt because your stitches look poor on your quilt. It's a tension issue. It is a machine, an issue with your machine. So adjust that tension. Reason number 6 is the dreaded comparing ourselves to others. If you're just starting out with free motion quilting, your stitches are not going to look like somebody who's been doing this for years, who's been around the block and stitched a whole bunch. Your stitches, you're learning, your stitches are not going to look identical. So if you try to compare yourself to that other person, you're going to get discouraged because you're going to say, oh, well, mine doesn't look like that. So what am I doing wrong? I'll never get this. First, it does take practice. So you have to practice, just give it about 10 minutes a day and practice just some little small movements on your machine, and that will help you build that confidence and get better. The other thing is, which I had mentioned before, is drawing it out before you start stitching it out. Very, very important to solidify that pathway in your brain so you've got that memory, that muscle memory. When you get to your machine, you know where to go, you know where to stitch. Your hands are ready to start going in that direction. Comparing ourselves to others does not help anybody. It's just going to make you discouraged, make you depressed, and think that you can't do this. But they've been doing it for a long time and you're just beginning, and we all had to start somewhere. So don't be discouraged. Keep on going and keep on practicing. Reason number 7 is you're waiting until you feel confident. So until you feel confident, you're not going to try. And that is only hurting you, because the only way you're going to gain that confidence is by practicing and getting better one stitch at a time. So don't let that hold you back because you feel that you're not confident enough to do that. You don't have to be an artist to do free motion quilting. It's learnable by anybody. And that's going to help you build that confidence at your machine by stitching on something that is, a sample, a throwaway. You don't have to worry about making a mistake on it. That's yours. That's yours to practice on, and for you to own that stitching and see your progress as you get better and better. The more you stitch, you will become more confident in your ability to be a free motion quilting queen or king. Remember, you don't gain confidence and then start free motion quilting. You start free motion quilting and then you gain the confidence. That's it. My 7 reasons that most people don't start free motion quilting. Do any of these sound like you? If so, put it in the comments and let me know. And if you're ready to get started, I told you in the beginning that I had a little something that I think is going to help you, that I think you are going to like. I just released my new course, Free Motion Quilting 101 Confidence Bootcamp. This is a mini workshop. It's on demand. You can do it anytime that you like. And it goes over how to set up your domestic sewing machine for free motion quilting. This course isn't about learning hundreds of different designs. It's about getting you set up so that you feel confident enough to start free motion quilting. And the way we get that confidence is by knowing that our machine and our tools and everything is what it should be before we get started. The course will include how to adjust your thread tension, the troubleshooting. We'll talk about thread, different threads for your needs when you're free motion quilting, the different tools, the needles, the gloves, the hand placement, there's a lot that I packed into this 2-hour course. And at the end of it, you will learn a few free motion quilting beginner-friendly designs so that you can implement what you've learned up to that point. So if you're ready to get started, I have a link below to Free Motion Quilting 101 Confidence Bootcamp. It's $27 and you can start it at any time. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to share it with your friends, do feel free. And I will see you back here for the next video.